Learning languages at the present time is one of the most important tools of excellence and one of the most important skills that open up several areas for work, travel, and acquisition of new experiences, as is the case with some other skills, such as learning programming languages or language, graphic design, photography, and e-marketing. Those with these skills can work anywhere, even from their homes, and establish virtual companies that bring the satisfactory material gains to a large extent on the importance of learning languages of all kinds, especially the English language. We are really pleased to shed light on this topic through our guest, Dr. Asmaa Alduhaim, Assistant Professor of Translation at Gust University. It's really a pleasure to have you, Dr. Asmaa, and an honor.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here.
Honestly, Dr. Asmaa, I want to really, introduce you and let our viewers know who is Asmaa Alduhaim. Where did you study? Graduated from where? How long of years of experience you have?
To be honest, it's a process of a very, very long studying trips and passion for translation. I loved translation since I was a little kid. I always saw the screens and tried to interpret, not just translate. I was always the one who translated for the family as well.
Indeed.
So I had that passion since I was a little girl. And then I studied in the UK to continue my master's degree and my PhD. And
so first, your bachelor degree was in Kuwait?
Yes, it was in Kuwait, yes.
And was it in English literature?
Yes, it was English literature.
Linguistics?
Yes. Linguistics and literature, both,
okay.
Yeah.
Then you went to UK?
Yes, and then I went to the UK and I specialized in interpreting, which is like oral translation. And that was really hard because I was shocked to, when I was there, they had like the booth with the set, and they were like, and I remember the professor was like, okay, Asmaa, it's your turn. I'm like, I've never done this before. He said, this is your only chance. You either do it or you don't. So I was like, you know what, let me test myself. So if I don't do it, I'll just go and be a translator rather than, an interpreter. And I actually did, and I loved it.
So this is a new information for us. Interpreter who sits on the booth and basically directly translates. But the translator who takes the book and he starts translating on his own. But the interpreter more difficult because you need one ear listening and the other is processing.
So it's really hard because you have to learn completely different techniques. When you are translating, you need to learn more about writing, about grammar, about like proofreading your own writing. But when you are basically translating. When you are interpreting, you have to learn how to be very fast in speaking, and that's why sometimes I speak really fast. You have to be really quick in understanding the message.
Speaking of interpretation, tell us, is it okay if sometimes, words slip here or there?
Yes.
It's okay, it's acceptable.
It happens. It's not something that we recommend interpreters to do, but when you are interpreting live, it happens. It's just something, it's a mistake that just happens.
That's definitely amazing. So you finished your master's degree in UK?
Yes, in the UK.
And did you continue to PhD?
Yes, I continued to my PhD, but because it's a field that requires practice, I was actually required to practice interpreting and translation. So I worked in the UK, I worked in the Red Cross.
You worked in UK,
yes.
Amazing.
I worked with the Red Cross too, because it was the same time as the Arab Spring, so there was a lot of refugees, so I had to translate for them and interpret for them. I had to translate a lot of basically documents related to Arabs, and it was actually I was lucky because during that time Arabic was one of the most demanded languages in the UK because of the revolutions going on.
That's true.
So I had a lot of jobs, and I was lucky to practice like day and night, and sometimes I would have to put my studies on a hold.
This is what they call hands-on experience.
Yes, yes.
So after that,
I went on to my studies. Like I stop here a little bit and then I go here. It's like I either study or work because you can't do both.
Amazing.
And sometimes I do both. And then I came back to Kuwait, and now I'm teaching the students what I learned.
So you stayed for a while in UK?
Yeah, roughly about 9 years.
9 years, amazing.
Yeah.
That's good. So The family are okay with that?
Yes, yes, they're
Amazing.
completely fine.
Supporting.
I would have my mom come by, my dad, who's watching me now.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's
so yeah.
beautiful. Anyway, we wish your mom and dad the best of life.
Thank you.
Dr. Asmaa, are there any different types? We said the translation and interpretation.
Yes.
But in translation, is there any other major types?
Yeah, we have so many different types, which is like legal, medical. You have to be actually equipped with the specialized terminology, and sometimes you have to even know the techniques within that translation field. For example, if you're translating for media, you will do subtitling. So you will need to know some words and how to reframe them or do them within the culture.
So what you're saying, in each field,
yes,
there are some certain criteria and regulations.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the importance of translation in our daily life, especially when we are in the age of technology and social communication? Somebody would come to you and say, never mind, Dr. Asmaa, with all due respect, I have DeepSeek, I have AI, I have ChatGPT, I have all these, and Google Translation.
Yes, I agree.
So how would you respond?
There is actually a lot of studies, and I did that myself. It will only translate words. It will never be able to translate the whole context,
scripts,
especially if it has a lot of cultural references.
Indeed.
Or if it has one of the new words that we are now using in our daily languages or literature. It will be very, very, like, I can't say it's impossible because it doesn't have the brain. It just tells you, it's like a dictionary. It gives you the word and its meaning, but it will never be able to contextualize it within the text itself. And that's the problem that I see. And I do see it everywhere, sometimes even like in TVs or, in signs, which tells me it's Google Translation.
Yeah, Google. Definitely, but for us, if we know English, I think they will be a good tool to speed up,
It can proofread for you. It can, it can proofread for you. It can help you with the style. It can tell you if this word has more than one meaning, but it will never be able to choose the right word in that context.
No, you are the controller. You have to be,
you have the brain.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't,
So with regard to language teaching at the university in Kuwait, how do you find the youth's interest in studying this field, and what are the most prominent education activities held in the college?
I can't tell you actually that the students are very much interested now. And before, it was like during the time that I was studying in the university, it was mainly English and Arabic. Some will say French, but now I see the students, and I'm really surprised by the languages they are equipped with. Like they do Japanese, Korean, Turkish, so many other languages, and I'm actually surprised. I have students who actually translate into Japanese that I don't even know.
MashaAllah, this is really amazing.
Yeah,
that's true. Before we used to have the English and the Arabic only, but nowadays and I know people have Spanish, French, Italian. That's frankly.
And they actually do, like, one of the activities that we have in the university is to place these students, especially if they were the last year, in an internship. And those students, when they are placed in the internship, like last time it was the UN.
And as we can see the monitor now, Dr. Asmaa, this is, you are here
in the lab.
In class, in the lab?
Yeah, this is actually one of a kind in Kuwait. It's the Translation and Interpreting Lab. This lab is basically equipped with all the techniques related to translation. Nice. So we have the interpreting booth, so the students can actually experience. Because, it's actually weird because the students are so scared of it.
Really?
Because it's the real life experience. I'll tell them, okay, go on. Translate, and I'll have something like political, like the Emir and his speeches, and then they will interpret, and they will feel like this will be my job later on when I graduate. And I say, yes, you have the opportunity.
This is actual experience.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks
hands-on,
hands-on, definitely, and it's true. It's intimidating.
Yes.
Frankly, also it's a small booth. It looks like a prison cell.
And it's very hot inside. And dark.
And you don't want to do mistakes, so it's a pressure. Definitely.
Yes.
Anybody can be intimidated, but it's a good life experience. Because honestly, this is how you. I remember I did it once or twice maybe, but definitely I needed practice. It doesn't come just like that, you know.
Yeah.
By experience you can learn it, but it will take longer period. Unlike university, you know, putting the dots where it belongs. So if a person wants to learn a new language, especially the English language, he will certainly face some difficulties at the beginning. What are the basic of learning a new language, and especially English language, as it is the most common language in the world, or the language of science today?
Yeah, I think it's really easier now than before, because now we have so many things that we can actually use, like the YouTube videos, the programs or the software that we can actually use, which makes our life way much easier to learn. Listening to academic news or academic TV shows and documentaries will always enrich our vocabulary, the way we speak, the way we actually understand the information in the other language. So this is one of the first tips that actually will increase our language level and improve it. Let alone practicing, because if you don't practice language, you will forget it.
Indeed.
Yes.
That's true.
So that's one of the most important things.
That's very true.
Because a lot of students, they travel to the UK and then their community is actually Arab students, and then they don't know, they come back with Arab dialects rather than English, because they only surround themselves with Arab speaking people, instead of, you know, speaking to the students or the other people in the country.
Indeed, definitely. This is a spot on point. You know, when you go abroad, you should learn, because besides the schooling, the classes, you have the reading, the writing, the comprehension, the basically listening. You have to also speak with the, you know, surroundings. You know, definitely have relations, a friendship with somebody from native people of that country, of UK, for example. And on and on, but definitely surrounding yourself with the same culture, that's totally not good for your, if you want to be linguistic in the future. So the most fearful thing in the learning, the mispronunciation or writing incorrectly, is one of the things that makes an individual hesitate to learn a new language. So how can we avoid that or overcome that obstacle?
I would say just self-confident, because knowing a new language or knowing another language is an achievement by itself. So if you mispronounce something, you will learn how to pronounce it later on. But if you don't try to mispronounce or pronounce, then you'll have the problem of never trying. And language is just like anything else, it's just practical. Once you learn, you will learn even more and more and more, and you'll correct yourself as you go. But if you, I mean, we make mistakes with our native language, so of course it's just something.
That's definitely. Dr. Asmaa, unfortunately we are, you know, out of time. We have to leave it there, but I mean, if you have last message, this is your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. That was, dear viewers, a great thanks to and appreciation to our guest, Dr. Asmaa Alduhaim, Assistant Professor of Translation at Gust University. We'll go for a break. Please stay tuned. Don't go away.